Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. I'm gonna move on with the second game of my trio of SNES games that is still completely random. And now I'm back with a game that's a Super Famicom exclusive, actually. So this is a game that got released in 1994 named Mickey no Tokyo Disneyland Daibouken, and that is basically Mickey's Great Adventure in Tokyo Disneyland. And yeah, so this is a game. If you look at this like right away, it seems like it's it looks pretty similar to the Magical Quest games. It's still a little bit different in that you don't really have the costume changes, but it is a really interesting game in its own right, I would say. And there will be some really cool tech, so some really cool mechanics, something to do with various kinds of balloons, but more on that later. So we're gonna be heading into the options. So we're gonna place on the easy difficulty. The main difference is that it will give you more health, so you will be able to do certain damage boosts and such. It also does some slight level changes in that there's more spikes in the higher difficulties, but they're not found here. So it makes for some good speedy action in that regard as well. All right. So time will start as soon as I start the game, so that's gonna be in 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Gonna skip the opening cutscenes here. And balloons. How do they work? We have a lot of balloons. You will be seeing a lot of it, so if you like balloons, this is your game. So in this game, we're playing as Mickey, who is trying to look for his friends because they're trying to put on a show in the theme park, and his friends got tricked by Pete into thinking it was their day off, so now he has to go look for them and see if he can still put a show together. So we did that by using balloons. And we got two types of balloons here. So we got the orange balloons that you saw earlier, and those are the gas balloons, so you can use those to accelerate throughout the level and do all the yeets and such. So there's going to be a lot of speedy tech derived from that. And the water balloons can be used to attack with, and also some various other things you can do with it as well. But yeah. See if we can do this. We're setting up for a lot of setups here. If anything, the main movement speed of Mickey himself is not super quick, so we wind up moving around just using these balloons, really. It does accelerate things considerably. That goes without saying, probably, but it's really cool how it also makes for a lot of experimentation and various setups that you can do. And also, there was trying to hop on the water, so I could have set up for a diagonal boost there. I just missed that, that's fine. You really have to look when you hit the water, and then you have to jump at the right moment. So if you do that, you can sort of hop on the water, which is nice. See, you tend to travel through water really quickly as well. Let's see, okay. Just gonna do this. Suddenly we have seagulls. And then we have Pete at the end of this level. As I mentioned, Pete is gonna be the boss in every single stage, so be ready to see a lot of Pete. So, in this game, every level is kind of based around a certain attraction in Tokyo Disneyland. So in this case we have Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's a couple more other things later on that you see as well that are very specific in this case to Tokyo Disneyland. There we save Daisy. And now we got Big Thunder Mountain, so gonna wear our cowboy hat and all that. Starts off with this vertical screen where you get some really cool setups. Also where we do like ceiling bunks and such in order to go fast. I also do that with diagonal boosts downwards, where I'm trying to kind of accelerate on the spot really by hitting the ground briefly and then kind of build up speed from there. But there's so many ways you can do that, really. It's really cool, I think. Oh yeah, also one thing that I never mentioned about the orange balloons. You can also technically attack with it. If you release the balloon or if you cancel the animation at exactly the right moment, you can actually hit enemies with it. So that's what I'm typically trying to do there with a bat. So it's a time-specific thing though, but if it works, it's really cool. Pirate Pete is the top man of this game. Yeah, kinda, yeah. I mean, Pete is no stranger to the Mickey games. Also, if you look at the Magical Quest games, like I did recently do runs again of Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, the very first game. And, well, Pete is everywhere, basically. Or in quite a lot of places. Oh yeah, now for the true attraction, because everybody's talking about, you know, Big Thunder Mountain, the rides and such, but nobody ever talks about riding a vulture. Like, this is the true attraction here. No, somehow nobody talks about it. It's so weird. Anyway, you can ride that vulture and then make it across the minecart section without actually having to do the minecart section, which is, honestly, pretty cool. Hearts to Pete, hey. Right, this screen is pretty long, so if I wind up dying here at the end, that would kind of suck because then you'd have to redo a whole lot, but that's a little bit too early to say. Let's just see how this goes. Got these wind currents where I can also use the balloon to kind of provide some counterweight and also just navigate that without actually having to use other balloons. Because what the game expects you to do, and I will show you that momentarily, is you will lay down these balloons so you can use them as platforms. That's also one other use of the blue balloons, the water balloons, is that you can do that. Although in this case we only have to do it like partially, so, you know, it's not like the entire thing, but whatever's needed basically to do that. Okay, let's go a little bit further up here, and then do this. It's a cool little thing you can do. You can release at the right moment and then get yourself in that gap there, so you don't have to float up, which would be slower. And then we go diagonally downwards. Oh, there's another set of spikes. There's so many spikes in this game. And as I mentioned, I found this out only recently, but there's additional spikes in the higher difficulties. I don't know what else is different, but that's one of the main changes that I saw. Okay, all aboard the train. Gonna hit Pete with water balloons. And he's really trying to hit us as well, but so much for that. So you can actually charge your balloons for a certain amount of time and they'll become stronger. That goes for both types of balloons. So if you fully charge them, you can actually do a certain thing, like you can actually use them the way I do now. Before that, they will not be having the same effect. So you kind of have to really wait for that moment. So it's especially if you try to release it way sooner, it tends to not always work, but if it does, it's really cool. Yeah, carry on the ride there, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, seriously, I mean, that's such a unique feature, you know? You have spikes, and love spikes, but also you can ride a vulture, and that's pretty cool, I think. Okay, we now have this frog with double shields. You can actually set up for quick kill here, where you can drop balloons like right away, and you can also drop balloons in certain spots, so you can drop another balloon there and basically have it hit the spikes on the same spot, but I just barely missed that, but that's possible. I feel like this is a really good showcase for what you could do, really, as you navigate these waters, because there's a lot of like obstacles and lots of opportunities to water hop, and it's just really cool to see if that all comes together, really. It can be tough to navigate, though. There's a lot of places where you can't die, so I try not to do that. The fish are something else here. See, at least I'll be able to make it to the next screen. But oh yeah, also there's bees. You may not have seen them as much, but you will see them. Probably, believe me. See, there's bees. Sometimes if I try to release the balloons too early, you will see even more bees, but, you know, enough about that. So this is Splash Mountain. Obviously there's these water rides, and we're gonna try and skip that. I'm gonna see if I can do this. My health is not great, but I may have a chance still. Maybe not, though. Oh, I barely made that. Holy cow. That was actually... I was about to die there, but I still survived that. Then we have another section here where we can do the same, and then we just skip off that. Doing that at 1 health can be tough. I have no idea how I managed that, but I'll take that. There's some really cool ways of going fast there. You have to kind of consider where you're jumping from and what setups you're going to use, but if it works out, it can pay off very well, I must say. Alright, now for an actual raft section where Mickey is just enjoying the ride for a little bit, and then, oh no, it's heading down. Where are we heading to? What do you think, Chad? Seems like we're heading towards something, TM. So close, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I just died there. That's actually one of the easier sections as well, but if you're low in health, then, yeah, it can be tougher to do. Anyway, so we're quote-unquote fighting Pete once again, but it's with a bit of a twist, because now Pete is constantly stomping the ground, and we in the meantime have to take out these alligators. So there's gonna be 4 cycles of this, 4 rounds, where you have to kind of stand here and just, you know, wait for them to come out. It's actually a pretty easy fight, and I never feel worried about having very low health here, because it's actually super safe. So yeah, you do that, and then you get back, and then... Well, there goes Pete. So much for cracking the floor there. Can we go to the spawn splash for? No! Alright, that was half of the attractions. Hope you enjoyed Splash Mountain. Now we're going into this haunted mansion, which is already very spooky. There's this bit here that they're somehow stretching out, and we have to escape from it. How do you do that? Well, we use balloons, obviously. So we're just gonna head up, and at some point I'll have to take a detour. Oh, that ghost is in the way, that's fine. But at some point, TM, I have to go here, because this is where the level truly starts. So central to this are these 4 doors that I have to go through, and I have to turn on a switch on every single one of them in order to go through the big door leading to the graveyard. So I'm just going from right to left. This is where we get this really large and very tall room where we just have to, you know, balloon our way up and do full charges with our gas balloon. So that takes a little bit, but eventually you get here. Oh yeah, now we open this door. There's a flashing warning coming up, by the way, so be warned. Because this globe we have to take out. I'm just gonna stand here using the gas balloons in this case, so I'm just gonna very briefly fire them and release them. Also, these buttons we're gonna try and hit from the side, really. If you can get the right height, then you can do that and actually save a little bit of time there, so you don't have to stand on them. It's a weird thing, so somehow it's detecting that same collision, but... Alright, second one, we have some doors that we typically cannot enter because they will just... They turn out to be fake doors, they just crash on us, so, you know, have to watch out for that. Although we can go through them as well. And normally this is supposed to be a maze, but there's this one part where you can fall through the floor and that will automatically bring you to the right door, so that does make things a lot easier. And that brings us here to this kind of redo of a mini boss of sorts that we had earlier in the game, where I had to fight these mimic chests. And there's a lot of mimic chests in this game, as you would have seen already. There's gonna be more, don't worry. Okay, now for this, gonna try and do a ghost skip here. Very nice, first try. That's actually a pretty tight window. Normally the game expects you to take the stairs, but that's slow. Because you have to hit those buttons and then head up the stairs. There's also additional lag, so that's making things even worse. But if you can set things up for like a brief double tap to dash and then jump at the right moment, you can actually get in that gap there and sneak past the ghost like that. It's really cool. It's a pretty tight setup, but it does save you a lot of time over doing things the regular way. So this is the literature room where we have to hit these busts. All these books dropping on us, so we're gonna become very smart here. We're mostly gonna just do more balloon shenanigans because, you know, that's ultimately what we're here for, right? Alright, and that's the third door. One more to go. I feel like doing that ghost skip, that's one of the main things that I hope to get right. And it's always nice to see that first try, really. So, it's always a good thing. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't explain, I had done this earlier, but you can actually lay down one of the water balloons to press the button, and then you can just slightly hit the other button, and they can get through the door like that if you just run towards it, like I did just now. So that does save a little bit of time, so you don't have to lay down two water balloons there. All these knights. I tried to go for a setup there where I'm trying to fly over that second batch, but I typically miss that. No big deal though, like health-wise I'm good, lives are good. Heading into the graveyard. See if I can speed up here. There's some really cool stuff you can do in that regard, so just go through here and then do this, and then just have to wait here. Yeah, make no mistakes. If you get hit by those ghosts, you cannot move sideways at all. So you will fall into a pit. So if you can avoid that, that's always the best thing to do. So yeah, that setup makes things quite streamlined, which is pretty cool. And then we have to fight the Ghost of Pete, which consists of him flying around. We have to catch up, really. So. And now we save Scrooge right here. And so we got a couple more friends to save, but next up we're going to Space Mountain. We're going to space. So yeah, in terms of themes, this is quite varied. As varied as the theme parks are, or the attractions, so... Okay, I didn't quite get that. I have to make sure I make it across this gap, because you don't want to fall down, then have to redo the entire thing again. I love these beep boops right here. They can be in the way. Of course, this thing is totally gonna go for me as soon as I'm trying to hit this button, but perhaps not. They tend to do that. Next room, got these huge marbles where we're trying to kind of go past them like that. So you don't, again, you don't really have to lay a water balloon on that button. You can run over it and then, yeah, keep that dash intact to go through a laser. So if it's nearby enough, you can actually do that. Also, a nice little time save. Hey, Ilhok, thank you for the good luck. We're already on the second to last stage here. I was actually setting up for a diagonal dash there, but I forgot to do the diagonal, so oops. Let's see. Let's fix it here, though. So we end up taking a couple of teleports here. Gonna fly up. Okay, I'm just gonna take that safety. You don't want to get run yourself in there, because that hurts, kind of. Yeah, this is a really cool speed game, honestly. Like, there's some really cool mechanics that you can use, and lots of room to kind of figure out your own strats and such. It's very flexible, I feel. It's definitely one of its strengths. And like the mechanics are still rather different from Magical Quest games from what I've seen. Like I've mostly have experience with the first Magical Quest, and there's quite a bit of RNG involved in there. And this doesn't have that as much, but there's quite a lot of movement tech here that's with a lot of stuff that makes it quite unique, I think. So I definitely recommend checking it out. And there have been quite a few new people a couple of years ago who did end up routing this, and were able to bring out the potential in this one. Oh yeah, by the way, it wouldn't be Space Mountain without a roller coaster, right? So now we're gonna not ride a roller coaster. I'm just gonna skip this. Yeah, there we go. Am I still good? Yeah, this is good still. Just have to lower myself here. There's definitely a timing-based thing if you want to yeet yourself across the screen, and you want to make sure you don't actually fall down. You really have to make sure that you know when to charge, and make sure you don't go too low into the screen. Oh yeah, and one more thing, you can actually floor clip here. So much to explain here. Everything is just happening, really. There's so many things, really. That room alone can be done so quickly with all those things, really. It's all about timing with the buttons, you know, charging and then jumping at a certain point. So now we fight Pete again. This is actually one of the more RNG heavy sections. So this is actually really good RNG, because Pete loves to slide in this boss fight, and so that you cannot actually hit him. There's only certain moments that you can do that, but yeah, that was really good. Okay, now for the Cinderella Castle. This is starting off with a pretty tight section, because you have to basically start like right away trying to make it past those spikes, and just have to start dashing and just waste no time, really, because otherwise you may have to play it safer or you may fall to your death. So it's a pretty it can be pretty punishing that way. And also there's some health management here coming up where oh, oops. I swear the gap was here somewhere. I've missed it before, but... But yeah, we gotta do some health management here, because we're trying to damage boost past these spikes. There's actually a possibility to do like an iframe boost here and there, where you're trying to set it for a pretty quick charge, and that way you can still save a little bit of health. So even if you would take one extra hit beforehand, this would still be technically doable. So I did one there, but that is all to set up for this, because I'm intentionally taking a death here, because I want to have full health for this part, because this is a really long screen, and also coming up is gonna be a mini boss fight, where I especially want to make sure that I have enough health so I can possibly try some things there. Yeah, the comparison with Sparkster was actually brought up at some point. I think Rocket Knight Adventures as well. But yeah, the movement seems like it really kind of is inspired by that, if anything. So it's more like that in that sense, I agree. So I'm gonna do a couple of diagonal boosts to get past these wrecking balls here. Then we're gonna not hit this button, but we're gonna jump over it. And then we're gonna do some more of these boosts. A little bit of luck here. See if we can get a door despawn. That would be really awesome. Okay, I don't think we got that. Yeah, sometimes you can actually dash like that, and sometimes a door despawns, which is especially awesome. But yeah, I didn't quite get that, so that's unfortunate. But at least we survived this level, because this level is extremely punishing, especially if you try all these things and you fall to your death. You will say you will lose a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, it's Disneyland after all. I mean, I agree. Anyway, here's a dragon fight. Okay, am I on the right pixel? I hope so. because I'm actually trying to find the right pixel where I can just keep jumping for a little bit and do these charge attacks, but I don't get necessarily hit every single time I run out of iframes. Although this is also kind of a timing thing, but at least you don't need like full health in order to survive this. Okay, now the last section here. I'm gonna try a thing since I'm still looking pretty good on the time. Okay, that was good. Because this is the quicker setup. And normally I would have instantly launched myself towards a door if I had enough health, but, well, I'm a bit low in health and the final boss fight is coming up and you want to be prepared for that, right? So, just gonna do that, but... Again, lots of pits, and you want to make sure not to fall down there. At least it's not nearly as punishing as 6-2 is, because that is definitely a tougher level to navigate, I think. But okay, so this is the final fight. We have Pete as a witch, I guess, and first we have to destroy these henchmen, these skeletons. And then we get to fight Pete himself, and we have to do all these charge attacks with these balloons. And for the first half, we don't really have to worry about much. Just gonna make sure that our charge attacks don't miss, because you can only hit starting from a certain moment, so... There's that. And also you have to kind of check where Pete appears, because sometimes it seems like he's appearing in one corner, but instead you get skeletons, and you have to avoid those. But yeah, it's always in the corner at least, so in that sense it's really consistent. And then it's time for the second half, where Pete suddenly starts throwing these gusts of wind. And as you imagine, this is where we would need the extra health, because it's very likely that with the setup I'm going for, I might get hit somehow, so I'm trying to at least stay close enough and possibly prevent that, like that. Okay, and that was it. That was the fight. So time's gonna be coming up. So that is right now. So there we go. We have saved all of our friends. And of course, how can we forget Pluto? Pluto's just ready to, you know, greet Mickey in a very Pluto way. So yeah, the storyline ultimately is very undramatic, because, you know, it starts off with Pete kind of tricking Mickey's friends into thinking it's their day off and they don't have to do a show, and everybody's just going to the attraction parks or to the attractions, and Mickey has to go find them. And then it turns out that Pete was just kind of jealous of the show that they're having, and he just really wants to join, and his buddies do too. And Mickey's like, you know what, you can join. So, you know, happy end right there. So it's quite undramatic in that sense, but there you go. So there's for those who want to play this in English, this never got released outside of Japan, but there is a really good translation patch. So if you want to play this in English and make sense of, you know, the lore, if you don't speak Japanese, then you can do that. Thank you for the GGs, everyone. Honestly, this run went really well. I was actually grinding this recently and trying to get a lower time, and I actually did improve my time by 12 seconds earlier this week. And this was only 15 seconds slower than my previous PB. And I've only had a couple of runs that were in the 25 range, so this was actually really good. I did not expect it at all, but there were a lot of things that I kind of decided to go for and that just went really well. Like, Splash Mountain was like... I kind of YOLO'd that one because I was on 1 health for the most part, and I just... That went pretty okay. Way more so than I expected, but yeah. Sent here in outer space to find the human race. Exactly. And I mean, it's a Disney game, so obviously you get to hear this this tune here, you know. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World, you may probably have heard this track. Because I think this is also, if you go to, say, Disneyland Paris or something, you also hear this tune, if I'm not mistaken. I've been there quite a few times in the past, but... yeah, what other way to wrap up this run, right? Yeah, really cool speed game. I guess I was gonna say, if you like Disney games, then this is definitely worth a check. If you like Sparkster and the like, you should also check out this game, because you might find something in there too. And this is now a run that's gotten quite a bit optimized over the years. Eric's 33, who's in chat, has a world record in this with mid 23. Really sick run. Can definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, shouts to the other runners of this game. And shouts to Speed Bump from Smite's channel, because it was through there that this run got kind of highlighted and optimized quite a ton. And it really brought out the potential, I think, and really shows how much this has to offer as a speed game. So yeah, I could definitely recommend checking it out. It's kind of weird with the controls and such, but if you get used to it, it does definitely pay off in a way. All right, so I got one more game coming up, and that's gonna be a game that I've actually run for quite a while, kind of on and off, and also a former speed bump game, and that's gonna be Skulljacker Revolt of the Westkin. So I'm gonna switch over to that, and I will see you in a bit. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll catch you in a moment.